everybody. Welcome to Healthy Recipes Served Up on Livliga.
Yes.
I'm Sheila.
And I'm Walt.
And we're delighted to have you back. Happy first day of fall.
Think of that.
Can you believe that we've already got to that point in the year? Especially when, if you remember earlier in the year, it seemed like it was going really, really, really slowly.
I know, and suddenly October is around the corner.
Oh my gosh, we are the last week basically of September.
Yeah.
But it kind of feels different. It feels like it's fall. It's not cool yet.
It was 88 here in Longmont today,
Yeah.
but the light is so different. It's a softer, gentle. It's really.
I love this time of year. I love the seasons.
I do too.
And when you come back to Healthy Recipes Served Up on the Liga, one of the things that's so fun about the seasons is picking different things to do because of the seasons. I find that I think of recipes I haven't thought of for a while because the change in the weather makes me think of them. I don't want certain types of food during certain times of the year.
Right.
And, once the fall hits, baking things, really is very appealing. So something like homemade pizza becomes very appealing.
Yeah, because they're always so fun.
They're very fun. We as a family have really enjoyed this. We got out of the habit for a little while of doing it, and that's kind of funny too sometimes. Something that's such a favorite. How did that happen? I think maybe a move or two had something to do with
and it was also something fun with smaller kids and with kids who had friends over. It was so great because everyone gets to decide what they want to do and what they're putting on, and
it is a sort of do it your own. And now, we so focus on personalization of food. And this is a perfect one to be able to personalize according to your own desires. You can make it meatless. You can make it with healthy meat, which is kind of what we're doing tonight. You can be very mindful of the variety of ingredients that you use. And you can also make it easier. I mean, I think, in talking about homemade pizza, I think it's actually with fresh dough. So we have dough this is actually from Whole Foods because we wanted the whole grain.
Right.
Hi there, welcome. We wanted that, but you can also, Walt found that we get at our local Kroger, which is King Soopers, you could get the
just regular white pizza dough.
White pizza dough. And the thing is, you can actually freeze it. So if you find, like with the whole grain, if it's not always available, buy two, put one in the freezer, and then you've got it handy for the next time. What's really nice about it is you can take it out of the refrigerator. You can, we're going to show you everything, but you can, separate it out into 4 pizzas. The dough that they give you is good for about 4 9-inch pizzas. Yeah. And then you can let it rise. So it really has that taste of fresh.
Well, it really is. It is.
But you don't have to do all the mixing and kneading.
It's a really simple way.
Rise and, let it rise again. So I think this is a kind of handy way to have that as an option. And then also with the sauce, the pizza sauce, that's another thing where you can get the store-bought version, which is what we did here. So this is organics. So again, we were at Whole Foods, so we went all out. We got pizza sauce and pizza dough at Whole Foods. But it's a fat-free version, so those
it's really healthy.
Of us that want to be mindful, although fat isn't really the enemy anymore, as we know, it's really carbs, but it's a very healthy version. There's no additives. It's all, healthy stuff.
And it's really tasty. But sometimes also we may use pesto in place of that.
Yes.
Or we may just use olive oil. Or you may, sometimes when you buy the fresh pasta, they have things like Alfredo sauce. And you can do an Alfredo sauce if you want something other than the red.
But what I was really going for was, making it more friendly for sort of healthy and homemade.
Yes.
And so a couple of weekends ago, we made out of the bounty of our tomato plants, we were able to harvest tomatoes and make our own tomato sauce. I'm not using it tonight because I really wanted to show how super easy this is and yet how fresh it can be. We're going to serve up today on our vivente. So follow along. On our recipe. I think hopefully our trusty helper Cynthia has put the recipe up for you all. If you go to blog.livligahome.com and look for homemade pizza, you'll be able to pull it up as well, and you can follow along with the recipe. Again, it's very simple. The thing about it is you can make a recipe complicated, or you can make it very simple. This version of pizza is pretty gosh darn simple. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bowls of items to put on our pizza, and plus the sauce. And so that's really, when we have parties, we kind of go all out and we chop up peppers and we chop up a variety of other things so that people can pick and choose, and that's awful fun. And you can also be mindful of kind of the vegetables, the rainbow of vegetables, so that the choices people are making are from already healthy options.
And the meat choices, because you'll have 4 or 5 different meat options, or anchovies,
chicken,
or that sort of thing.
yeah.
Right.
Or you can do,
Diced
I was talking
ham
to our middle son
Yes.
today, and he was talking about how they made homemade pizza last night. See, these traditions, they carry on. And he said they did kind of a Greek version. So they did artichoke hearts, which are really good for you. Yeah. Feta. They also did olives. But it was very simple, and it was a meatless version. He's our healthy, well, actually all of our kids are healthy kids, but he tends to go vegetarian more than our other kids. Right. And so we're always learning from him on options for that. So anyway, we can get started. We wanted to talk, about how easy this is, how we can control the ingredients, how we can personalize it, how it's something you can kind of have on hand, because that again is one of those things where, come Friday night and you want something that's a little more festive, particularly in these days and age, depending on your bubble and how you're handling living in the times of the pandemic. Sometimes just even if there are a couple of you or 3 of you, the idea of doing something a little more festive
is fun.
Is fun.
Yeah.
So
and it's different.
That's what this is all about. Even though it's a Tuesday, we're imagining it's a Friday. And here we go. You turn the oven on to 500.
Hot oven.
So as hot as your oven can go. That's really great for the crust.
Right.
We talked about kind of what you need. And one of the most important things that is not that expensive, we've had ours for years, and pizza stones last forever. So I would recommend, if you enjoy pizza, rather than buying the store-bought versions that have a lot of other ingredients that you wish you didn't have, and also for the convenience of being able to make it at home, I would invest in a pizza stone. So we have ours heating. The most important thing is you get it up high, you preheat your oven, and you put the pizza stone in the oven, because having it hot is also really key to baking that crust again. And these are thin crusts, but
that's what it looks like. It's
just
you
can
big,
see it's been loved.
Well-loved stone.
And I feel the heat coming off of it because it's been heating up in the oven. So pizza stone's really important. You need a trusty fork. That you probably already have.
And actually be more aggressive than you might think, because when we make the crust and separate it out, you actually make like 4 or 5 places where you have good holes in it. And if not...
Why do you do this?
Because it then ends up being more like a
pita or something.
Or a papadome or something, where it puffs up and you have this big bubble.
Yeah, so this is key.
Yes.
This is key.
You don't want holes, but you need holes.
Spatula or 2, we'll see. And then probably the most important thing is I find I use more jelly roll pans for cookies and things than I do old-fashioned cookie sheets that have clear sides to them. But for pizza, you want that because you want to be able to slide it in and out.
If you don't, or you can get a pizza paddle, but that's one thing we haven't.
Yeah, I keep it simple.
Right.
Not that we couldn't do it, but before investing in the whole cat and caluple of pizza making,
right.
I would just find
a flat-sided
classic cookie sheet.
Right.
And this we're going to put some cornmeal on, and that's another thing that's important because that keeps the dough from sticking, and flour doesn't do quite the same job, and this also withstands the heat in a way that the flour doesn't. So all you're doing is dusting it.
And it is really kind of classically what's always on the bottom of your pizza.
Yeah, think about that. If you can envision, a pizza that maybe that you've from their favorite pizza joint,
And it also, it kind of lets it roll off. I mean, I think part of it is that where it's just large enough that it really serves kind of as little.
So probably the most
bearings.
important thing is the pizza dough. So Walt can show you.
So Sheila, we had one big dough that Sheila divided in 4, made them each into balls.
And really, I just twisted the dough, you guys. So I twisted it in half, and then I twisted each one of those in half to make 4.
And they've been out for maybe 40 minutes, an hour at this point.
Exactly.
From the refrigerator temperature.
Exactly.
And in that time, they probably doubled in size.
Exactly. And you want them to double in size. So that's how long it takes. So you do need enough time to get that dough out of the refrigerator and allow it to double in this process. But again, you finish work and you come in, you get the dough out, you split it up, you go, get in comfy clothes if you're not already in comfy clothes, and get some of the other ingredients prepped, and then you're ready to go to do it. Because once the pizza dough is ready to start making, into the crust, you're really ready to make dinner. You can hold it, you can half cook it, and then hold it until you're ready and cook the toppings.
Because we do these once, and let them get kind of cooked.
The bottom gets cooked, and you're doing like 4 minutes. That's it. In a 500-degree oven, that's all you need. And then you bring them out and you flip them, and it's that already cooked side that you put the toppings on. So that's another important point.
Right.
And then you cook it again for about 4 minutes with the toppings on there, and the crust on the bottom is also cooking at that time, so that both sides end up getting cooked.
And the trick is just kind of keeping your pan so you're not confused. When one comes out and goes on the plate, the next one goes in. So the other thing is, I've washed my hands. I scrubbed them well just a minute ago. I'm now putting just a little bit of flour on my hands.
Because the dough is sticky, you guys, so you do need to kind of get your hands ready for it.
And I don't want to get too much flour on, because that kind of dries it out and causes a problem. But I do find if I pull it out, the gluten in it makes it very stretchy.
Yes.
So you pull it out, it stretches and stretches, and then it goes right back where you had
Doesn't
it.
this kind of remind you of those Italian
joints
where they
if I could do that, I would do that. But I can't. So but I do it a little bit. So by kind of.
Yeah. And if there are tears, you all just pinch them back together, because you're trying to get it thin enough and round enough to make your individual pizza. Like
here is a little tear that just happened. But I'll just pinch that back together, so you can see there's a little bit of a hole.
I'm going to go help myself to a dog that needs to come in.
Right, we have 2 puppies here. One's inside, one's outside, and they both want to be where the other one is. So so you can see that. That's good. And actually, I'm aiming for 9. It's always a little thicker on the edge, so I may pull that apart a little bit. And actually, I think I'm pretty close.
You are pretty close, because that looks.
And this may be the largest of them, so it may be a little bit larger than the others will be. And now I'm just going to plop it on here.
And then you're going to poke it, right?
Yeah.
You're poking it before you put it in the oven.
Yes. And when I put it down, then it kind of comes back to the size it used to be.
It's like an accordion a little bit. You stretch it, but then it comes back a little bit.
Stretch
so you
a little more. I think you can see that.
And sometimes you put it on here and stretch it and get it to the size and then move it. I think you kind of missed that step this time. Too busy talking, you know how that is. But he's definitely, as you see now, this is what he's doing. He's putting poking holes in with the fork. And it really does make a difference. And there will be parts that puff up, and they do come down. But you kind of want to avoid that if you can. There's a dog right behind you, just so you know.
So I've got this as stretched as I can. I'm now going to take it, and it'll slide onto my stone.
Right. And it really is just 4 minutes, and I'm going to put it on my watch. Okay. Set timer for 4 minutes. Don't you love watches like this?
As I recall, I now do the next one while that's in.
So we got it going. And this is probably the hardest part, is just timing so that you get them all done. And they'll reheat, so it's not critical that that the toppings and everything, we can just take them out. And I'm going to actually get a couple more plates out. So
I guess
all of them have their own plates.
Now, see, I was listening to Sheila, and so I ripped this apart a little bit, so I just pinch it back together. No one's the wiser.
No one's the wiser.
As they say, what happens in the kitchen.
Yes, exactly. This is kind of the fun part, and the thing about it is, if you have kids or other folks. Each person can have the fun of making the round of pizza too. I mean, the idea is, particularly when we're kind of hanging out at home more and we have more time, this kind of thing is part of the activity. It's part of the entertainment. It's part of how you can enjoy spending your evening, because you can sit and chat and talk to each other while you're doing it. Each pizza kind of has its own personality,
yes,
consequently, not just because of the toppings, but because of the shape of it. And
You
kids
may aim for a
love
circle.
trying it. You know, it's a really unique feel, and the idea of owning your own pizza and being able to make your own pizza, and you just have to have someone controlling the heat. But this part, anybody can do, and it's
How
a
are you
lot
on
of
our
fun.
time?
So, I will have to look at the timer. It hasn't gone off yet. So we have 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay.
So,
So I've got the next one ready to go. We'll take the first one out and put it on a plate, and
yeah,
then we'll
I've
put
got the
this
plates
on,
ready now.
on that. With
And
more.
then to go back to when we separated the dough, you do want to spray whatever surface, if you have a wooden surface, or I just put mine on our Pavente plate. You do want to spray it, because that's another way to avoid having it stick.
So the hour that it's sitting there while
Right.
it's
Right,
raising.
so I just wanted to explain why we have
Rising.
cooking spray listed. It's really for prepping the dough. And I'm gonna open up the, we've got active puppies today.
Of course
This is
we
a
do.
real kitchen and a real family's life. You may have to help me on this. I think you do.
Okay.
You wouldn't mind. It's really
Right,
hot
well.
on there. Oh, there we go. I heard it snap, crack a pop. But you know, you guys share your favorite ingredients that you love putting on a pizza, particularly ones that maybe people don't think of. We have pepperoncini. So do you guys know about wonderful pepperoncini peppers that can come kind of pre-done? I got the bottle out. These are deli sliced, so I mean, all you need to do is drain them and put them on top of the pizza. There are 12 pieces. 12 pieces are 10 calories.
So nothing.
So you have, you know, just fabulous flavor, a really fun, unique ingredient to be able to share on a pizza, and it's 42 seconds.
Okay.
I think you're okay. Are you
Yep.
worried?
Nope.
And you know, that's kind of a fun ingredient. Again, it's a healthy ingredient. It's a colorful ingredient. Looks really nice on tomato sauce because you know, it's kind of a vibrant color itself.
Yeah.
We were supposed to have fresh basil, but I completely forgot that our garden no longer has fresh basil, because we did have a freak snow.
And basil is
weeks
just
ago.
so sensitive.
It's
Below
so
40
sensitive.
degrees, and it's just not.
So we're going to put some Italian parsley on there and some dried, it's kind of a freeze-dried basil, so we'll still have the basil taste.
Let's see. I'm actually
and
going to come out not on that.
I
so can
did,
do this.
sure. You want to switch sides?
Mhm.
And also, we got turkey sausage, and I did the tube of, it went off, so you
Good.
ready?
Okay.
No, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Because you don't need to put it back on there?
Exactly.
Okay, cool. He's just going to put it directly on the plate, so that he can put the next one directly onto the cookie sheet.
So
that
turn
has
that
been
over.
dusted with the cornmeal. Yes.
So that one's ready to go.
Say look how good that looks. And so we have it. Well, we're not going to do that quite yet. We'll put it in front. But you've got the makings of your first crust. And although it looked thin, as you saw when it baked, it's a little thicker.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of going through the ingredients. So we've got some parsley just to make it look pretty. We've got pepperoncini. I then sliced some fresh mushrooms. And again, this is one of those things packed full of goodness and taste, and yet you can put a lot on it and make it feel like you've got, some yummy ingredients in pizza, and that's Cassie agreeing with me. And then the turkey sausage, and I, did it in a cast iron pan and just kind of grilled it up here for this, and that can go on the pizza. And this is all kind of by 4, so
Did you set a timer?
no, I didn't, but I think we're good. I'll put 3 minutes on.
Yeah.
Don't do that, please. I got it on my watch. It's just not as noisy.
Okay.
Then we've got the sauce. And we'll show you in a second, once he gets the last one in, we'll start putting the toppings on, and we'll go through the second process of cooking them. It really doesn't take any time at all, especially just for 4. If you've got more people, obviously you buy more dough, and
You might have 2 ovens going.
you might have 2 ovens going. And, you know, but people, you know, like to sit around, have a glass of wine or a pop, and, you know, hang out and talk while they're waiting for the pizza. So really, we've never found it, we found it that it just adds to the fun, having
Right.
people doing their own pizzas and just making sure you have enough ingredients and have them in a location where people can kind of go through and build their pizza.
Little assembly line. for
Yeah,
pizza.
exactly. And again, you have to be a bubble. If you're going to share ingredients, you either have one person like me who does it for everyone to keep it safe, or you're in a bubble and everybody has washed hands and they choose their own foods and put them on them. So, and then you finish it with the mozzarella with some of the grated Parmesan, and you mix that together. So it's like 1.5 cups of shredded mozzarella and 2 tablespoons of the Parmesan, and you mix it together, and then that's also divided by 4. So all the ingredients on the list, it serves 4. And let me see, with the ingredients that we're offering up today, it's 320 calories for an entire pizza. So, you know, we end up finishing this off with like a bowl of berries. And you can even, you know, if it's a Friday night, you can have a glass of beer and, you know, really celebrate, or a glass of wine, depending on your preference. I'm in the phase of non-alcoholic, so I enjoy non-alcoholic beers these days. And maybe we'll have a taste testing one time on those, because I've been on the journey to find my favorite non-alcoholic beers.
Yes.
So here we are. We're ready for the next one. You put this on there, and poking holes.
Poked already.
All right, and so we're pretty. See, he's pretty whizzy at this. I haven't even put my fingers in all of this, other than
You gonna
getting
do
it
it?
ready. Should I?
No, you don't have to. But if you'd like
Hey,
to.
why not? My hands are clean.
Okay.
So stretching.
Did you put?
Oh, I didn't see. He's
put
already
flour?
teaching me.
It's okay. And I think we should be really close. It looks like it's right there. However your
So-
time was.
11 seconds.
Yeah, I think I'm there.
So I think we're in good shape. So I'm a little more dainty, as you can see. I kind of stretch and then turn, stretch and turn. So it may take a little longer. My watch is going off now. So we'll get the next one in. And
See, so that's how it comes out. Looks all nice and perfectly done.
because it's fresh too, you know, there's nothing better than a fresh pizza, freshly made, that you sit down to dinner and enjoy. So it really, it's a lot of fun. And you know, you can do this on FaceTime too. Everybody can be doing their own pizzas, and then you can have a pizza party on FaceTime or Zoom, depending on how many people you have. You know, they're just any excuse for us to celebrate these days. I think we need to find it and make it happen. And pizza's a good, easy way.
Yeah.
And I've never been a real lover of pizza, to be honest, but when it's fresh and when I can put my own toppings on it for what I'm in the mood
You're
for.
making yours square.
I am. I just thought, you know, we could show how you can do it differently.
Then my freeform ones.
Yes. No, you've done a beautiful job. So, you know, that's, and the whole grain obviously is considered a little healthier. And these do actually have whole grains in this particular pizza dough, so that's really nice. I think, you know, for health. But again, it's your choice. That's the lovely thing about this.
I do 2 more
3
minutes. again.
minutes. Yeah. So, are we ready? Do you think?
Yeah. If you poke,
I am not poked, but I thought you've been poking. You want me to poke it here?
I've been poking over here
Oh,
after
you
the
have?
first time.
Okay. You hear me poking? So I'm poking here. And you know, the thing about leftover tomato sauce too is, you can use a few days later, you can use it for spaghetti sauce, or you can for pasta and spaghetti, or you can use it for a bruschetta. You can use it to do like an Italian pot roast and put the tomato sauce on top and do a slow cooker. So again, I'm all about not wasting, particularly when we're not wanting to go out and about as much. You know, we want to use all of our resources in fun and imaginative and creative ways. But there's always something we can do with our leftovers.
Perfect.
And make a new meal, not always feel like we're eating leftovers. I love leftovers for lunch because I don't have to think about my lunch. But as Walt can tell you, there are times when I say, I just can't eat leftovers, particularly for dinner. So, but coming up with something to use the the leftover ingredients, that to me is a challenge.
Right.
That's fun.
Yep, yep.
So what are the favorite things that you all have that you like to put on your pizzas? There are just so many ingredients that you can enjoy.
There really are. And to do different cheeses. I mean, you talked about doing feta, that Andrew had done feta, it is, or a fun goat cheese.
Mozzarella can be so, just a simple one, like right now with all the tomatoes, really just chopping up some tomatoes and doing some mozzarella and some fresh basil. That's all you need.
Right.
Is that called a margarita?
I think so. Yeah.
So pizza. So
Very
you can do it very simply. If you're tired, you don't have to fuss with it
And
much.
really flavorful.
So tasty. So we have 58 seconds. So just about a minute. And once you put this in, let's build a couple of pizzas and.
Because we can then do 2 at a time.
Exactly. We can. And we're basically splitting these ingredients in 4, so we just have to be mindful that way. And do you see that he has a little dust of flour on his sheet?
Of course.
That's when you know you're having fun.
Yeah.
It's when you have a little dust. You're putting more on.
Okay.
I'm probably about to do the same thing myself. Yes. I have a different form of powder on right now. That's what's fun about this. And it's something you could do as a weekly tradition. There was a gal that we got to know when we were at Obesity Help, and we used to do the walk. I mean, it was one of the years we did. It was actually our first year, I think, and we did the walk. And there was a gal there who had developed her own pizza, but it was a healthy pizza. She'd had gastric bypass surgery. And we had this wonderful walk with her. She'd never, ever been able to walk before, but after the surgery, and it was her first time, and she was really concerned about it. So we actually have Dot's Pizza on our blog, so you can also look for that pizza, and it has a cauliflower pizza crust.
It's really
and
good.
It's her recipe, so it's because of her that I have that. She was such, it was so much fun being together. But she talked about how this became the new family tradition. So we can also create these healthy traditions. I'm sorry about Cassie. But we can create these traditions that become part of our way of life that are fun and healthy and, inclusive of other people. I think our biggest challenge has been we felt this a lonely pursuit dealing with weight issues and a lifestyle issue. And I want us to all be part of a healthy lifestyle revolution where we're bringing people along with us. We're creating new traditions and new fun and having more fun because of it. And this is one of them.
I think I'm there.
Okay, all right, let's do it. So we're going to, I'm going to brush off this flour because we don't need it anymore because we've done all of our pizzas. And as you can see, I mean, it's really, we're literally doing it live with you all. It doesn't take that long at all. And we could probably be faster if I wasn't so chatty. So we're going to take our pizzas, and Walt, you flip them over each time, right?
Each time, so the cook side is on the top.
So we want the cook side on the top, and that way also it won't get mushy. The other thing is we're going to take 2 tablespoons of the sauce, and the main thing here is to remember to leave some room at the edge. You don't want to put the sauce, so kind of sprinkle it, or whatever you call it, around. So there's about 2 inches of room around, so it doesn't end up kind of going off the side of the pizza. So you can see, at first I thought, oh my goodness, it's not going to be enough, but it really is enough. And then we're going to take 1/4 of the sausage. So it's about, 2 ounces. You're putting 2 ounces on.
On the meat.
On the meat. So that's the next thing. You kind of want the bigger things on the bottom and kind of build to the lighter things on top. They cook better, it looks better, and I think it tastes better. So we're going to do this, and I'm going to hand it over to Walt. And then I'm gonna go crazy with the mushrooms. So I love mushrooms. And, they cook up pretty quickly too in the oven. So these are raw mushrooms. And so you can just, cut them up, and put as many as you like. And some people aren't mushroom people. They don't have to have them.
I love mushrooms.
Yeah, the two of us love mushrooms. Cynthia's not as wild these days about them. And then I'm going to enjoy the pepperoncini. And this has a bit of a, it's not heat as much as it is a, it's a strong flavor. It is a little spicy. So we're a little mindful of that, but, with all the other ingredients.
We didn't set the timer again.
Yes, I think we did.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I thought I did. Let me see. Maybe I didn't. Sorry about that. So you want 3 minutes? 2 minutes? Okay. I will do 1 minute and then we can decide.
Yeah.
Because it's easy that way.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'm going to put just a little bit of this freeze-dried basil. So I have some basil flavoring. You can choose to do that too if you want. No?
I'm thinking about it.
He's kind of putting his nose up on that one. And then this just, to add kind of a final color. I think the two different kinds of green, the pepperoncini with the
Italian flat leaf
yes,
parsley.
isn't that pretty?
Yeah.
I gotta go show him this. I think it's so pretty.
Okay, but after you've done it, show
Well,
it.
I'll show it now, and then when we bake
Yeah,
it, and then
but I mean, yeah.
we'll taste it and let you guys know what we
I'm
think.
gonna do some.
Well, that's the final thing.
Right.
Yeah. So you get a quarter of that too.
Okay, a quarter of what's in here.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So it's actually a fair amount. You end up with a nice amount. Oh, I did have. Oh, that was the minute.
That's
So you want one more minute?
I want 1 more minute.
Okay, done. And this is gonna look so good.
Okay, I'm gonna show yours before you put cheese on,
Okay.
and mine with cheese
Okay. Good idea.
because it's so pretty. Okay.
It is so pretty.
You both
So
sound
the
a little
cheese-
porous because of the.
Oh, we
forest
still
fires.
have the
Smoke.
forest fires here in Colorado. So we really feel for the folks in.
So there's Sheila's. That's all
Oregon.
ready to go with no cheese on it yet. And then if you would hand that out.
Absolutely. But meanwhile, I'm going to put cheese on it now.
See, and that's with my quarter of the amount of cheese on it. And that'll just be
And we're using our
wonderful.
fingers because we live together and we did wash our hands before at the show.
Yes.
So obviously, I also have the handy Live spoons. This is the 2 tablespoon version because that works. You really get 2 of those with the cheese and 1 of them for the sauce. So
And
Cynthia's
if you
gonna
need a
do-
dog or 2, we have pups under feet that we can.
Yep, it just went off the timer.
Okay, I think we're there.
So now we're gonna. Can we do 2 at a time, or do we need to do these one at a
I
time?
think I can.
We can decide it. We don't have to force it if it's
I
not
think
a good
it will
idea.
be smarter to do 1 at a time for
Let's do it. And I think I can double check, but I think it's really the same amount of time.
4 to 5
but
is
I'll-
my memory, but
yeah.
that's what it says.
I think just to double check. So 4 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes it says. So that's what I would have done. So good to check it.
Perfect.
And then Cynthia will do her own pizza once we're done with this, and we're gonna have dinner after this. As you know, we always eat and enjoy what we prepare. It's a true test. What we're creating is worthy of eating
Yeah.
and something to worthy of sharing.
And so far we've done okay.
I think so. I think so
Yeah.
far we've done okay.
No, it's always good.
Yeah. So I wonder if any of you have tried some of our other recipes and
So did you
enjoyed
set a
them.
timer this time though?
No.
Hit 3.
See, I think you have to remind me to do it.
I know.
Obviously, I'm not doing a good job on my own. So, but here we are,
Yeah.
waiting for our pizzas on a
Yes, yes.
Tuesday night, and enjoying the good company and sharing some of what we do here in our real lives.
When I just went to pick up the CSA right before this
Yeah.
and got all these beautiful, wonderful beets, a little head of cabbage, beautiful chard and beet greens. And I said, "Oh, do you have basil?" He said, "No, our basil is gone." So
They
the
lost their
CSA,
basil,
exactly,
too.
they were in the
I
same
think they ended
shape.
up harvesting all theirs because they were smart. I didn't.
Oh,
that
I
was
see.
the
Okay. Yeah.
that was our big mistake. Was I somehow was optimistic about our basil, and
I should have
couldn't
covered
been.
it, and I didn't.
Yeah.
But it was too long, too many
Yeah.
days. It was
So I think Dawn harvested hers, and she
Yes.
did a lot of good things. We
I
had
made pesto like crazy,
yeah,
right?
she did, and we made a lot of pesto throughout the summer.
Yeah.
Which again, as Walt said, that's another base you can
Yeah,
use for
oh,
your
so good.
pizza. Then it's homemade, and it's something you can freeze. I think Dawn talked about that as well. You know, you can do ice cubes of the pesto.
And she actually talked about the fact that she has her own recipe. When asked what recipe, it was her own recipe. Thank you very much.
Oh, not sharing.
No, it was a very private.
Well, I share. It is nice to be known for certain things, though, and maybe keep them as your own. But here we like to share, and we like to share things that are healthy that we can serve up on Livliga and
Right.
share living. You know, because part of it is it's more fun when you're living a healthy lifestyle with others,
Yes.
right? It keeps us motivated, keeps us going, gives us new ideas. I think sometimes, just like we were talking about the change of the seasons, you know, right now we're kind of needing to think of the new things to
Right.
fix. And I'm still thinking of recipes with tomatoes because we still have a lot
We have
of
a lot of
tomatoes.
tomatoes. We have a lot
So
of
I'm going to make a
tomatoes.
roasted tomato soup this week. I'll let you guys
Yum.
know how that turns out. That may be something we share down the line because we also froze a lot of tomatoes whole.
I've never done that before.
Yeah, so we're
It's
going to
really pretty.
see how those work with recipes this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually I've done the canning. I've never really done the freezing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we had a lot of sort of smaller ripe tomatoes, and we thought, well, heck, let's try. And they're like solid marbles.
I know.
It's kind of fun.
They're both pretty and fun, and they sound serious.
So
How
it's
close?
23 seconds.
Yeah, it's not quite there yet, but
23
it is
seconds.
close. And that's probably 3. We may go.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, that'll be just about perfect.
Yeah, because you can also eyeball it. I mean, obviously, the 3 to 4 is a guide, and it depends on how hot your oven is and how crispy you want your cheese on the top.
Right.
And
This
so
is really just
when you
the-
bring this out, I think we can probably. Should I get a wooden thing to cut? Before?
Yeah.
And then we'll try it that way. And,
And you're going to say you're right there.
oh,
Are you going to say you're ready now?
I do. I am. I've been ready. I thought you were eyeballing it.
Yeah, I think I can do it.
I kind of smell it like the bottom is ready. Oh, do you want to bring this over? Okay.
Do this.
So
like
he's gonna
this.
slide it onto our wooden board, and then we're gonna try it out in front of you guys, and wish you bon appetit. But there it is.
Look at that. Isn't
I mean,
that
how
beautiful?
easy is this? I mean,
And fun.
truly.
And what a great shape. It kind of looks like Wisconsin.
There you go. You can make any shape you want. And so for those living in Wisconsin, so do you want to? No.
How
What?
can you not use a
Oh,
pizza?
sorry. He's gonna get a pizza
Hello?
wheel and do it that way. Silly me. Obviously, you can cut it any way you like.
Though I'm not sure.
Just don't think too hard on this, honey. Just go ahead. We just really want bites right now, so that we can.
Oh, yum.
It looks beautiful, and the cheese looks yummy. I think the mix of the mozzarella, shredded mozzarella, with the grated Parmesan makes for a really nice topping.
I miss. Oh, so that I get
So
it.
that's you mix them together,
Yes.
and that really makes the topping what it is. So here we go. Oh, and Landy is right here, if you can tell.
She goes,
By my
oh,
hand.
I like cheese. In fact, I like
She's
mushrooms.
smelling- We have locavores. We've decided they love our garden too, our puppies. So you're going to
Cassie
show it?
particularly likes raspberries.
Yes. We can prove it with pictures.
There, look at that. Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Oh, that looks so good.
So how easy is that? And you can even prepare this as, kind of a party hors d'oeuvre if you're wanting something where you just make a couple of these.
A
and
flatbread.
Like a flatbread. And you can, have less complicated toppings if you want to,
Yeah.
you know.
So
All
we're
right.
going to try one?
Yes, we are.
Go for this guy.
Okay, he picked the one with the most cheese. just
Okay.
saying.
Maybe hot. Is it good? Is it good?
I'm telling you, I didn't get any of the meat. I just had the cheese and the pepperoni.
So fun.
Really good.
And crust is perfect.
So here is our homemade pizza with store-bought pizza dough. And we're going to be serving it up on our Vivente. And also what's handy are the bowls, because all of the ingredients can be put in the bowls, and you know how much you've prepared because of the lines in the bowls. And our lip spoons, you know, are just so handy
And they're
for
perfect.
measuring up too.
Yes.
So we try and make life easy for ourselves and others and living a healthy lifestyle. So we thank you for joining us, and
Yes.
we hope you'll enjoy your version of our homemade pizza dough and pizza, and you'll have some fun and some festifications because of it.
Yes.
So next month,
It's actually on October 27th. So again, it's a Tuesday,
Yep, we're always on Tuesdays,
And
the
always
fourth
at-
Tuesday of the month.
5:30 at Mountain Time.
Exactly. And coming up, as we move further into the colder season, and we also want to work on our immune system and keeping healthy, we're going to be doing a slow cooker, budget-friendly vegetable beef soup.
Oh,
So
yeah, that's
we
good.
look forward to sharing that with you all. And we hope you have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next month. And meanwhile, thanks for joining us, and see you next time.
Right, and happy fall.
Happy fall.
Thank you guys. So
Take
glad
care.
you joined us. Bye-bye.